Good morning, and welcome to our conversational video series with the readers of Building Trust and Relationship at the Speed of Change. I'm Jerry Nagel, and I'm here with my partner, Kathy Jourdain, and today's guest is Don Bonnemiller. Don will share a bit about who he is, and we will chat with him about ideas from the book that are useful and about how the book has touched elements of his personal life.
Well, I'm retired or tired, depending on your point of view, I guess. And I have been retired for about 15 years now from paying work, that is, anyway. I owned a furniture manufacturing company in Wadena, Minnesota. We ran about 400 employees. We distributed middle and high-end product literally throughout the world. But I moved on from that business, and it's still operating. I am moved from owning the business to a minority position in that business, so I'm still involved, but not in a really significant amount of time or anything like that. My other activities since retirement have been centered around volunteer board work. I have been involved extensively with Concordia College, Moorhead, as a regent there, as a director of Luther Theological Seminary in St. Paul, and also on the board of the Meadowlark Institute. So I have been following the development of Jerry and Kathy's work for a long time as a result of that.
So Don, you were an early reader of our book, which we really appreciate it. You got to read it before it even went to press, and it helped shape subsequent edits of the book. So you've had a lot of time to be thinking about the material that's in the book and the concepts, and just through your work with the Meadowlark Institute, you've been very familiar with. What we've been doing is we've been working with worldviews. We know you as a man of faith, and we're curious about whether or how knowing about worldviews or learning about them may have influenced your understanding of your own faith.
I have always tried to be a steward in what I do. I don't look at things as being mine. I've adopted a caretaker role in what I do. And I think that is a big influencer in my life. Now, when it comes to spirituality, I believe by nature, the very genetic makeup of people, they have a spiritual side which leads them to a higher point of view. And I would point out examples, everything from the Aboriginal groups that have been in Australia for 50,000 years plus, the cave drawings that we've discovered in France, New Guinea, the monuments and all the stuff that's been created in Egypt. There are thousands of years of people's indication that there is something in the world that is bigger than what they are. However, I would also say that faith is developed by nature, implicit, but it's really developed by nurture. And out of that comes all the various beliefs have originated throughout the many thousands of years. I would say that the conversations that I have had about worldview intelligence have definitely broadened my thinking. Perspectives in acceptance has changed because of it.
One of the things I've always admired and respected about you is that you're a bridge builder, that you to help people find connections. So I'm just wondering how you might reflect on what you know about worldview intelligence and its approach to understanding differing worldviews might also be a way to begin to build spiritual bridges instead of divides.
Instead of divides, yeah, well, particularly today, that's a tough question. I think in the divisiveness that is exhibiting itself, at least in Western society, and I would include European Union on it, and the whole EU bloc in the United States. It shows up in really throughout the world. I have come to characterize that as a me versus we type of mentality. Self-centeredness, you might say, might be genetically embedded in some of us. whereas others would have a more inclusive point of view. And the reason it makes it very difficult, because if you're a me person, then you are not going to be open to another point of view. You see that in some of the social media posts, you see that in the news, as you look at one side versus the other side. Those that are open to an additional point of view, worldview intelligence, I think, can be very, very valuable, particularly the various dimensions that you get into with this. You look at that both from a standpoint of what is, where did it come from, and then where is it going, what might be, and is it right? These are all things, these are very, very important questions. If you have the opinion that your way, my way, if I'm speaking of myself here, is the only right way, you are not going to be very open to another point of view, be it spiritual, be it social, be it professional, cultural. I know some people, they're pretty well cast in stone, in terms of what their thinking is. I really want to encourage the two of you to proceed with the work. The book is a good start, but what you've got to do is figure out, how you are going to broaden and broadcast that message to more people.
There may be some people more open to exploration than others, and I'm always a big fan of start anywhere, follow it everywhere, and then keep alive the threads that have the most potential and possibility. Don, have you had a recommendation or advice for other readers of the book, or for people who haven't bought the book yet, who might read it? What would you say?
I would say buy the book, then read it, but then reflect on how that fits your particular position. Now, I wish I would have had that years ago. And because this, when I was active in business, and I was very active in the national associations of furniture manufacturers and stuff like that too, as well as the business community in the state of Minnesota, that would have done me a great deal of good to have that understanding. It probably would have opened my mind and eyes and ears to other ways of thinking about things and being far more aware of what other people are thinking, why they are coming from the point of view that they are.
Well, thanks, Don. We really appreciate your time this morning. And yes.
Well, thanks for asking me. I appreciate the opportunity to to speak a little bit about, because I think this is very, very important work, particularly today in the rather diverse societal problems and opportunities that we face. So, press on.
Great. Thanks much. And
Yeah,
thanks to everyone for listening.